kicks to Green. And the layup's good off the glass. Green's got his second bucket.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the...
Wasted no time on that one.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
Spurs leading by 11 in transition. Here comes that jam. Beautiful.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put this one away early.
Curry gets the bucket.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Boris Diaz checked in for Aldridge. Anderson comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And Martin subbed in for Daniel Green. Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for the Warriors. Curry, good. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the 3rd fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
And both teams on fire from the opening tip.
Well, I don't doubt it, Greg. We're going to have an entertaining game of basketball here today. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that's the case.
San Antonio shooting their 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Spates. Barbosa comes in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash-mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
Agility leads to thievery there as he's got his hand in there to get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Clark, that's been the story of this game so far. I mean, they cannot hand over any more easy points.
And the Angels won. Tim Duncan, just a remarkable career. His teammate Tony Parker talked about playing alongside. It's both unbelievable and amazing, you'd have to agree, talking about Tim Duncan and how he, Greg, continues to stay near the top of his game.
You know, Kevin, they say nobody has ever defeated Father Time. But, you know, there have been a couple of bigs that you have to see are the exceptions. Kareem being one, and then obviously now what Tim Duncan has been able to do over the course of his career. Just unbelievable.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for San Antonio.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And Golden State looking who they've got. Rush out there with Iguodala. Then there's Barbosa. Then there's Livingston. It's Azili in at the 5, patrolling the paint.
And how good a playmaker has Tony Parker been? One of the best in recent history. The all-time leader in assists for the Spurs over his 14 years there. Just a crafty guy with the ball in his hand.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. For a long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big three, and rightfully so with all their wins, and Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big three recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Bogut.
Nicely done by Andrew Bogut there.
And guys, for Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs, Coach Popovich already sees him as the next guy. He told Leonard not to think of the big three, but to think of himself as the big one.
Bogut kicks to Iguodala. Out to the wing. Clark dishes to Curry. Goes up again, and another basket for Golden State.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you think his team would have the lead. And guys, with what Popovich said about Leonard, small things like that can be the catalyst to get a player to reach greatness. Sooner or later, this will be Kawhi's team.
Thompson, he's jumped in for Brandon Rush. Warriors trail by 10. 0-1 near Iguodala as he lets it go, and the lead is down inside single digits.
They're absolutely stroking it from outside. I mean, textbook perfect. Good balance, nice high release, splash.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is. These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
That's 2 in a row, and we call that a streak.
Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
You know, that's hard to explain. That play. I mean, I guess he thought he had more room than he did.
Daniel Green, he's checked in for Duncan. Spates checked in for the Warriors. Barnes comes in for Ian Clark.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing. 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range. His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game. And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
What a pass by the fearless Manu Ginobili. Great teamwork.
Down low, here's Parker. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. And now a 9-point Spurs lead. And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, If they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
And the Spurs scoring again.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Here's Aldridge. Another one falls for San Antonio.
And really, it looks like he made...
And it's going to be San Antonio off the tip. Now Golden State's starting five. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. And it's Barnes in at the small forward position. Now here is Aldridge. Launches a three, and he hits it to go. Aldridge has got the opening field goal of the game for the Spurs. Well, LaMarcus Aldridge, Clark, is bread and butter, that great jump shot of his.
Yeah, that's something that every big man needs. At high release, really tough to get to that shot.
13 feet away. There's Green with the three. And again, it's San Antonio with the three.
Really good job of creating just enough space to let that one fly.
Green, no luck. San Antonio's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. And Green slams it in.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Thompson for three, and another three for Golden State.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
And here's Green outside, and he gets it to go. Green's got 8 points.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Thompson with the bucket.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists. I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
A temporary lapse of focus from him on that turnover. It's embarrassing, but on occasion it does happen.
San Antonio's gone 3 of 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter. Doing well from long range. Got that one up quick. Parker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Thompson from long range. Another 3 for Golden State.
He's got the firepower, feeling the rhythm here, going 5 for 5 so far.
He's got it flowing right now. The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint. And the Spurs, being the defending champions out west, heading into last year, but they would end up 6th in the conference with a record of 55 and 27. Had a record of 32 and 20 against the rest of the West.
For 3, yes, once again, he remains perfect. 6 attempts and 6 hits.
Dropping bombs. How many more threes are we going to see from him tonight?
Well, we've already seen plenty. And he's got more points from outside the arc than inside of it so far.
And how about that, responding to the three-pointer against them with a quick one of their own.
Terrific little tay-to-tay going on right now. Back and forth. Here we go.
We knew the West was going to be wild and very competitive all season long last year, and the Spurs, Clark, epitomized just how crazy and tough things can be there.
Yeah, and with about 3 weeks left in the season, the Spurs were sitting in the 7th playoff spot. Then they go on a tear and win 11 games in a row to jump to number 2. Finally lose 1 game, and they're all the way back to 6th.
David West, he's checked in for San Antonio. Martin comes in for Daniel Green. Andre Iguodala is checked in for Golden State.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Yeah, Greg, you know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there.
Boy, this game is off to a flying start.
Yeah, we're seeing some high-octane offense from both sides in this one.
Aldridge drives in. That one's all good. Now he's 3 for 5 from the field.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Curry outside. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line. That one on Parker. Steph Curry does so many things well, Clark, on the floor. But one area he had struggled with was turning the ball over.
Yeah, and after a slow start, Kevin, to the year in the turnover department, Curry was able to slowly right the ship.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Boris Diaz checked in for Aldridge. Anderson comes in for Leonard. And it's Mills in for Parker.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
I think they're playing too soft on the perimeter. They can't stay so soft. They've got to get up into the shooters here.
And Curry and his turnovers last year, a lot of it might have been getting used to a new system. But you can see he's also tightened up his play to reduce the giveaways. And as far as jump shots go, that's what you have to continue to try and get.
I don't know how that one stayed out.
And how about the last 5 made shots have all been threes? The defense is just giving up a barrage.
Most teams get the message to cover shooters after 1 or 2 wide open looks at the three-point shot, but it seems like they have just not figured it out. Great outside shooting fueling this run.
Then the D is getting bombarded. They haven't been able to slow them down the least bit. And, you know, Curry knew turnovers were a problem. How about his mom even instituted a fine on him? And so anytime he has more than 3 in a game, he owes his mom $100 per turnover.
Estes Ezeli, he's checked in for the Warriors. Barbosa comes in for Curry. The Warriors shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. When you think about Sean Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken Clark 4th back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
And it's the Warriors with the ball. Following the three-pointer by San Antonio. Clock is at 3 from deep. Iguodala. Good. Iguodala's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And really that's what built the early lead here. Killer shooting from beyond.
And the defense needs to recognize that and get to the shooters. It's imperative that they get a hand up.
And Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, very demanding. Throughout the years, he was hardest on it. Even though it seems like that was a very long time ago now, to hear Tony Parker talk about it now, it still sounds very fresh to him.
Did he acknowledge, Kevin, that he cried?
It sounds like it, yeah.
The game made him cry. That's one of the things fans forget about with professional athletes. No matter how successful they get, players never forget that pain and frustration or those other emotions they've gone through to help get them to where they are.
Ian Clark.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
They've definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
So on the floor for Golden State to begin this second quarter. Iguodala out there with Thompson. Then there's Barbosa. Then there's Livingston. And it's Ezeli in at the center position. Duncan with the bucket.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
Warriors leading by 13.
And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability in post-game interviews and pressers. He said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
Here's Rush. He's covered by Leonard. And that one's good. And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. And Kerr is so good with the media because, Greg, he was a media member himself for so long. You know that as well as anybody. Clark, I don't think he ever tried his hand at broadcasting, though. I can't see him doing that. Did you?
I know. He probably just drone on as a broadcaster and would rarely contribute anything of note. Some guys have what it takes to call games, and Steve just doesn't quite scratch me as that kind of guy.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
West is checked in for San Antonio. Bogut with it. Leonard picks him up.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
From outside the arc, and that one's good. And now it's just a 4-point Warrior lead.
There's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
No doubt the defense had better play a little tighter.
He's a big reason why they have the lead right now. He's made all of his field goal attempts thus far and remains hot from the floor.
And he gets it to go.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season. But he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And, boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Golden State. Livingston comes in for Steph Curry.
Well, the defense not doing a good job at all of getting after him. They've got to crowd him and make it tough for him. That's his second this quarter.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut down now to just 4 points with the basket from Parker. The tray, and another 3 for Golden State.
And the three-pointers are starting to add up. That's his 3rd of the quarter, and it brings him to 4 on the game.
And Green gets it to go. Warriors leading by 5. Thompson for 3. The long-distance 3 is buried. Thompson's got 26.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
And here's West from the arc. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back. Wow, this is simply an amazing performance he's putting on here.
And Leonard gets it to go. And there's a minute 45 left in the second quarter. Here's Livingston on...
winning on that play. He was 9 of 25 from the field.